And Candy, feel free to tag me in that
Okay.
live. Okay.
I sure will. I don't know why it's kind of moving a little slow today, but that's okay.
Okay. You know what? That moment's stop now. That is telling our story. We can talk about that. So when you gotta do not disturb, those things still, notifications still come in.
All righty, you all. We are now live on YouTube. I want to say good evening to good morning to everyone. It depends on where you are. In some places it is afternoon, but for us here in Central, we are still on Central Time. So, all right, it is asking me to redo the live. So, guys, just give us a second while we do a few housekeeping. We have some extraordinary guests with us today on Ask the Experts, and so we're super, super excited. My name is Candy Martin. I am the founder of the AK Legacy Foundation, and it is an honor and a privilege to have you guys here with us on today. So we're going to go ahead and get started and get our show on a roll. Let me turn my camera on. That would help. And we will start recording. This session will be recorded because we will be sharing it on our social media platforms as well as on our website. So let me tell everybody why we are here, why we're on Ask the Experts, and what is the purpose of it. Well, the AK Legacy Foundation, we thrive on financial literacy, business development, and just sharing any news, any updates, or any education component that can inspire the communities in which we serve, the communities in which we have patronizing our businesses, and we like to share good news. And so today we have the awesome privilege, awesome honor to have award-winning actress Mally with us and her mother Mahalia. But Mahalia is not just a mom; she is a producer, film writer. She's going to tell us all the correct terminology that I'm sure that I've messed up, because film is not my lane, or is it? Because we're broadcasting live on YouTube. We're recording. So she's going to kind of tell us, give us some information and some tips on how we can be star-winning actresses ourselves. And so we are looking forward to the show today. And on Ask the Experts, I'm asking you guys to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, AK Legacy Foundation. Share this. Let's get the word out that Mally she is thriving. She has a lot of good things to share with us. She recently, just weekend, won an award, so we got to hear all about it, and not just some little trinket. She won a very, very big award, so we're gonna save that for later. It's a major accomplishment. You all know how I feel about the youth. They could win the best ice cream award. I'm gonna make a big deal about it. I am all about supporting our youth, especially nowadays with everything that's going on. We want to let them know that we hear them and we celebrate them. So it is an honor to have. And I think Mally, you're our first youth on the webcast. So yay, you're the first youth. So we won't be doing the mystery question today, guys. You know how I am about children, well, young adults in her case. I don't like asking children surprise questions. So we won't have the mystery question today because we're going to honor her and we are just going to just have a little fun. So this is a little more relaxed. Yes, I do have on the pearls today. I mean, it's not every day that you have an award-winning actress on your show. So I had to dress up a little bit.
Yes.
It is such a privilege. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I want to introduce who we have on the show with us in just a second. As you see, this is the website to get more information about the show. I've already told you why we're here. Don't forget, we appreciate all donations and volunteers. So I am going to spotlight Miss Mahalia so she can come on and give us a little information about who she is and what it is that she does, the name of her company. She's going to just give us her spiel on whatever it is that she would like to share with us. And then I'll come back and ask her a few more questions. She's going to tell us about the company's history, and she's going to also tell us the main focus of what's coming up next. And Mally, at any time, you're free to jump in. We want to hear from you as well. Give us some fun facts about your mom we might not know. So yes, Mom, it's all on her today. So I'm going to let Mahalia come on and just kind of tell us a little bit about her venture.
Okay, guys. Am I perfect? Perfect. Thanks so much, first of all, Candy, for having us. Mally and I both are very honored and pleased to be here to talk a little about our journey to the place that we are now. It's a beautiful moment that we're in, and we're just kind of taking our time and riding the wave and embracing every experience and every moment. So as you guys know, my name is Mahalia Jackson Butler. And I am the owner and operator, president of Axiom Talent Management. Axiom is a company I started 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And I started it because we wanted to kind of put, appropriate means in place to manage the business side of Mallion's career. That was originally the idea. I was just going to kind of move into a space of managing her. However, in 2018, she had the brilliant idea of us getting together and creating a show for her. And that's where the idea of Legitimately Mally, the show we'll talk a little about here in just a moment, was born. So fast forward to 2019, what started as, a pure management company, just to, with the idea of managing just a small number of people and primarily her, quickly evolved into a production company and a couple of other things. And so now 2020, October last month, we launched the Legitimately Mally podcast series under the Axiom umbrella. And we have moved to our mid-season point. We are airing episode 6 today, and we're super excited about it. So that's kind of the short version of how Axiom came to be.
All right. Well, you mentioned the podcast series for Mally. So I want to put this up, guys. I want to show you all what we're talking about, bring everyone else up to speed. I want everyone to go to YouTube, go and find it, subscribe, like, watch it. It is so funny. I was sitting there watching it. And I was like, is it okay for adults to watch this?
Yes.
So I was glued in. So I really enjoy it. And it's just what I love about the show, and I know it's a total sidebar, is the innocence of it. Good television. It reminds me, Mally, you were not born, but back in the day, we used to run home to watch, different shows, like the Cosby Show or Moesha and things like that. We used to run home to watch that stuff. And I have not seen anything like that in the last few years. So when I got a chance to watch your show, I was like, hey, this bringing me back. Saved by the Bell, those type of things came to mind, and I love it. And then not just to compare it to those shows, but you're different, and I love it. So I don't know, I'm bragging on it because I actually, not just because I know the young lady, but because I just know that she gives so much hope and inspiration through her show. So if you have any young adults, any smaller kids and adults, y'all need to watch it. That's all I got to say. We're watching everything else. I want y'all to put the timer on and get glued in and watch it and share it. So tell us a little bit about the show. Tell us about your character, Mally. Tell us, is the character really you? Or is this your alter ego? Or is this a total, how is it?
So Mally is 100% me. She is exactly how I am in real life. And I feel like that's such a great thing because when I portray this character, all I have to do is be myself, and it makes it so easy and so much fun. So I really, really do enjoy playing Mally. And I also know that she's a very relatable character because, you know, she's the typical teenage girl. Well, if I could just kind of piggyback on that, you do realize, being that you are a fan of the show, and thank you for those kind words. She's kind of mischievous. There's always some type of drama surrounding little Mally on the show. And that's not consistent with Mallion's true personality. Yes, she does find herself in little situations around the house with us. But when we sat down to create the show, Mally and I did it together. She's my co-creator. And what was so cute about that whole experience, it didn't feel like work at all, Candy, because I had begun playing improv games with her when she was 5 years old. So several of the characters had already been created. And so when it was time to sit down and bring the show to light, I sat and I wrote it. It took me about a week to write the whole pilot. We just knew it was just good at the end. We just thought, okay, this is a good production. This is a good product. Now what do we do with it? Well, to be honest with you, we shelved it for a year. And I had just forgotten about it because her career had started to pick up steam out in LA. And then I'll never forget, you know, and I was thinking, oh, well, you know, let's just lean back and do some other things. And she, one night in October of 18, she said, Mom, did you forget about my show? It seems like you're not going to do it. And I said, I did not forget about it, which I had forgotten about it, Candy. And so I went home that night, put out a casting call shortly after that, and the rest is history. We casted everybody in December, and we were ready to roll the following year, February, and shot the film version of the production, which aired July of last year. But this has just been, I wouldn't just say a love project, because it's just evolved into so much more than that. And every actor and actress on this production just brings so much value to the story. So from my point of view, being the creator, being the writer, the co-writer, I write also with Brian W. Smith, who's a best-selling novelist, being an executive producer who's funding the product, just, you know, I wear so many hats, the director, etc. It's just a beautiful thing to see the idea of a concept in your mind come to life and have it be so well received by so many people. It has just been a phenomenal blessing to me.
And I want to pick up on something you said earlier, before we get too far, you know, to the next part, that you just started off, we're going to do a little something. And I tell people all the time, as entrepreneurs, there's no such thing as a little something. There's always a little flame that's about to start a fire.
Okay.
And you just went in, you know, doing something with your daughter. You didn't consider it work. It was more like a fun project, you know.
Right.
And so, of course, it was near and dear to your heart. That's your baby.
That's
and
right.
So a lot of times when our children come to us and ask us to help them, we just take it and we just run with it, because it's like the doors open up. And so Mally, how has it been working with your mother? And the reason I'm asking for myself too, because I'm looking to do some management with my son. He's in sports. So, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna have his best interest. So we know that you have your daughter's best interest. I'm gonna make sure that the finances and the business side is done, because I don't want his hard work going to waste. So I know that that's true. But then I'm always concerned, how are we going to get along? So how has that been? So how has that been? How has that been?
Yeah, so it's actually been really cool. You know, it's very easy working with my mom because, you know, she knows what I want. She knows what works for me. And, you know, I know what she wants and what she likes. So it kind of just blends together very well. And it always produces an amazing product.
Yeah, it is an amazing project.
I will say, Candy, Mally has an amazing work ethic to be now only 14 years old. She's a very, very dedicated, committed, and passionate person. And she knows her mother has an amazing work ethic as well. And so you know, we work really hard, and we you know, there are no shortcuts. We work when we're tired. We work when we don't feel like it. But we also balance it with our relaxation time and time away from work to enjoy life and smell the roses. But when we embarked upon producing the podcast series, we knew that that was going to, I did certainly more than she, that it was going to entail quite a bit of work, and it was going to be labor intensive, and it has been, but not just Mally, but my team. Gracie Silver plays Sophie, Dieter Kingworth plays Ernie, Molly Van Jarlsted, I want to just name these people, plays Sandy Goldberg. We've got Theo Bray playing Timothy James, which happens to be my two brothers' names for those of you who don't know. And we've got Cynthia Banks playing Grandma Lorraine, and we've got Shauna Lindsay playing Elaine, the mother. Amir Nathan is playing Mr. Chetty. And then we have Annabeth Furlow playing Fruity Peppercorn. And then lastly, last but not least, certainly, we've got Charles Skeeter Jenkins playing Henry Johnson, and Marilyn Hebert, my manager. She's playing Persephone, who happens to be Sophie's mom. So, I mean, it's just amazing, the synergy and just how all of these people have come together and have just, produced an amazing outcome and an amazing product. I think it's just, I'm blown away every week. And if you've been watching and keeping up, Candy, from episode 1 to episode 6, huge transition. And I owe that part in great part to my amazing writing partner and my editor, Jordan T. Smith.
And that's what I was going to ask you. I can ask you now. When you originally started, we were pre-COVID. There was no,
yes.
Everybody was, we got to do this, we got to do that, and we were doing it. So how has the transition been? Because already you were wearing multiple hats, and then having a full staff, a full cast.
Yes.
And so that's a lot to be in charge of. And now you have to put on top of that COVID. So how have you guys been coping?
Well, to be honest with you, when we initially produced the film version of this product and released it in July of last year, we had begun to go on the film festival circuit. We had, partnered with some folk in Hollywood to take it around town to pitch it. And so we were meaning to, or it was our intention, if you will, to have this go directly to TV as a film production. We wanted to move forward with an episodic sitcom and put it out there in that format. However, things don't always happen the way we think they should, or as we want them to. And I always say, and Mally knows, God's timing is perfect. So we were in the throes of moving forward with pitching and building relationships and continuing to push it and take it out and present it to people. And that's when COVID hit shortly thereafter. So I think we had been kind of peddling it for about a year, and then COVID hit. And we sat on it because we came back home from LA in March. And it was not until September, actually, that I received a call from my counterpart in LA, and she says, Mahalia, this is too special a product or project for us not to share it with the world. Because we had already, my writing partner and I had already written several episodes, so we knew the magic was there. And so the recommendation was made to bring it forward as a podcast. I had not even considered it. So yes, COVID is horrible, but I'm choosing to see the silver lining and the blessing that came as a result of us having been shut down. Because had COVID not happened, I absolutely would not be doing a podcast series right now. So we took that grim situation and saw the opportunity in it, and we took it.
Well, and that is awesome because, and I can certainly identify with that, because prior to Ask the Experts was done in person, and then lots of times I couldn't get people on because travel arrangement, times, events. Yeah. So now it's like, hey, can you get on? There's really no excuse. Do you have internet?
No. Are you available?
Yeah, like, hey, are you available in about 15 minutes?
Yes.
But, I truly, I like the fact that you guys were able to pivot, and like yes. You said, in God's timing, you were already working on something. And I always say that if you're not doing anything, nothing's going to happen. And God doesn't have anything to alter if you don't have any plans. So lots of times we make plans, and we just have to know when it's time to change, pivot, adjust, And, you know, it's easier to do when you're doing something. So you guys were already in motion 2020. You had a list of things you were going to do.
That's
Then
right.
COVID hit, but you were able to pick up and keep thriving. And that is awesome. And so that brings us to our next part. And Mally, I had already done the presentation slide. So forgive me, I didn't have your new award on here. So I'm gonna read off of my phone. I took a screenshot. She won Young Artist Award, am I correct? For the 41st Young Artist Academy Award. So did I get that right?
You most certainly did.
Yay! So I want to congratulate her. I know we talked about it before we came on the air. I want to congratulate Mally, and I want you all to put in the comments, give us some congrats. If you're watching the replay, she's going to have an opportunity to go back. So I want you all to congratulate this young lady. She is definitely being a positive image. I would go as far as to say a role model. And I know that is a big term to put on a 14-year-old. So Mally, how do you feel about taking that title and someone say, oh, you're just a positive role model and, you know, my daughter looks up to you or we like the show. How do you handle that?
I take that title as an honor, to be honest, because, you know, knowing that young women in the industry are looking up to you and they see you as an inspiration, that just pushes me to go even harder for them and to make sure that, like, I'm someone that they look up to. And if they're ever getting discouraged or feeling like giving up, all they have to do is look to me, and it's my responsibility to let them know to keep going and to keep pushing, because it's going to happen.
We talk a lot also, Candy, about her brand and how important, to how many people are watching her, and you never know who is paying attention. So it's critically important to always be mindful of and responsible for what you post and what you say and how you present yourself, because you don't know who might go astray or sidestep due to something you did or something you suggested that was just not consistent with the brand that you're presenting.
That is awesome. And it's so good to hear younger people say the word responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big advocate. I guess I'm old school, but I really truly believe that everyone has a level of responsibility at some point. I do believe they should be age appropriate. I wouldn't put more on a child than they're prepared to take on. And I really love the fact one of my biggest, I guess, admirations with you, Mahalia, is that you're there. You're there. If she's going to school, you're there. If she's learning a new recipe, you're there.
You get it all, don't you?
You know, and a lot of times people, and I work with entrepreneurs, so I see it all day, and there's no shade or pun intended, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. Some people don't know how to juggle it. I just would rather assume that they don't know how rather than they don't want to. But how did you find that magic of thriving in this industry? Like the slide said, I put a woman's world, even though we know that the film industry is dominated by men.
That's
but
right.
I am here to say we are, you know, this is the year of the woman. So we are breaking through that. I have up here that you guys have a Black Film Festival award that you all received as well.
Yes.
And I just want to know, what is your magic sauce as your, like I tell people, I have a magic wand in my back pocket. We all know that's not true, but how do you do it? How do you do it? Be a mom and do so well in the film industry?
You know, I'm going to tell you, I wish there were a magic word or a magic, you know, recipe, right? We all do. But at the end of the day, it boils down to managing your time, managing your priority, managing yourself, and not making excuses. Because, you know, I know for me, it's every day my feet hit the floor by the grace of God, it's going to be a busy day. And so I wake up with that in mind. So I think, you know, I'm a healthcare professional, nurse practitioner as well. So taking care of my mind and my body, that's the first thing. So prayer and meditation, working out, eating a clean diet, so that I have the fuel and the mental capability to be as busy and productive as I'd like to be each and every day. There are no shortcuts. Don't, I mean, whatever you fixed in your mind, certainly if you're moving into the film industry as a woman, that have the, whatever you fixed in your mind, that how the experience is going to go, I'll just say it that way, it probably won't play out that way. There's no shortcut. It's not a sprint. It is absolutely a marathon. And so I would say, don't set yourself up for disappointment by expecting someone to do this or that for you, expecting this one to come through for you, or first of all, depend on yourself, be as self-sufficient as you possibly can, and empower yourself by researching, building relationships, networking, learning the business in and out, and avoid the shortcuts if at all possible, because it'll only serve you well going forward. If you know, I mean, you put in the work and you know what you know, it's only going to serve you well in the long haul. So I think that's what I would say. No, is the playing field equal? I don't think so. I mean, when is it ever? You know, for number one, women. Number two, women over a certain age. And number three, women also of color. So I've got three things kind of working against me. But I don't use those as excuses. I acknowledge them for what they are, and I just go harder, and always am mindful that when the door doesn't open, you just have to create the path forward for yourself. I'm not going to be a victim of circumstance, or a victim of cry woe is me, because things aren't going again the way I think they should. If the door isn't opening, I'll find a window, or I'll create another way. That's my mentality and my philosophy.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I teach, and it's so good you said that, taking care of the mind and the health and eating. I've been walking and just trying to eat right, eat better. I'm working on it. So work in progress. But I definitely want you back on the show. I know we had talked about it once before. Because I know you're in the medical field, and I know your profession. And so I definitely want you back on to talk to the women, to talk to us about getting our mind right, and what that looks like. That's getting your mind right, that's exercising, that's eating. Because if you don't do that, you can't do all these other things you have, and the to-do list is long.
And can I just say,
probably about 4 miles, you got to have the time to do it.
You do. And so it's about prioritization, and that's why I say managing your time and managing yourself. But at the end of the day, it starts in the mind, and you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. There's no overflow. There's nothing. You can't pour. So we have to take care of ourselves first, and that's if I had to say, identify a secret sauce, that's it. Self-care, number one, and then I can care for my family.
Oh wow! I know. I have two Felicias. We have two Felicias in our organization. Felicia Guimont, she's a celebrity chef. She loves self-care. And she talks about eating healthy. Then we have Felicia Flake. She is a fitness instructor or extraordinaire guru in exercise. She's, so the two of them together in my head is like, okay, I got to eat better. I got to exercise, and so you do need that, because nothing else matters in the day if you're tired, if you're fatigued,
That's right.
If you're frustrated. And so, but one of the things you just said also about being self-sufficient, and having that desire to do regardless of any circumstances, and just knowing that, hey, I can depend on myself. Thanks to God for the grace that he has given me. I believe that God graced us to do what we do. I believe if he gives us a purpose or a desire to do something, he has given us everything and has equipped us. But there's one more thing that we all need at some point, and I'm just going to bring us to our next when she's probably like, oh Lord, what's she putting up next?
What is it?
But this was one that people that know me know I steal pictures off of social media, because I'll be waiting on people to send me stuff. I say, myself. So let's talk about family. Let's meet the Butlers. Let me tell you, my husband is, and my children too, but my husband is one of my biggest supporters. I could tell him that I'm getting ready to go sell ice to Eskimo. He'll help me do it. He's like, okay, if you think it's going to work, let's do it. So let's talk about the family support. We've gotten our mind right and we're being self-sufficient, but there's something special about, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of them don't have the support of their spouses, their children, or any family. So how does that help you ladies in your industry?
Well, I'll start, and I certainly want to allow Malian to weigh in as well. The support of my family is absolutely critical to my success. My immediate family, and then my extended family as well. They've just been a wonderful resource for me. They give it to me straight when nobody else is willing to. But they are always, I would say, probably my number one fan. And my husband, just like yours, if it's time to go sell the ice to the Eskimos, he's loading up the truck. He's putting the ice in the truck. He is, without question, my number one supporter, my number one fan. I think he believes in my my ideas even before I believe in them myself. And so he has been very instrumental in us moving forward with our production, moving forward with our company. I just, without him, I would not be doing this. It wouldn't be possible. And then of course, my mother and my brothers, my dad, stepdad, my children are all very instrumental and a necessary part of the process for me to be successful and productive and continue moving it forward. What do you feel about it?
Well, yeah, the support of my family is very important, and if I didn't have the support from them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's very important, and I'm just very grateful to have their support from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So are you a daddy girl or a mama's girl?
A daddy's girl.
Wow. She is.
Sure.
She is.
We can,
But she's
we can
just like her mother. She's just like
yeah, no matter what we do, we can move heaven and earth, and these girls are still going to be daddy girls.
Yes, they are.
And so we know that's expected.
I don't begrudge it at all. I love it. I love it to pieces. I mean, she's his and he's hers. Absolutely.
Yes, and it's so funny. So I'm gonna bring up one more. I know we're having a little pause in here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna, we're having a little technical. We're having a little inclement weather, so you guys continue to bear with us. I know we kind of have it going, and I tell people every week, one thing we know for sure: technology doesn't care about our plans.
Not at all. It's great when it works, right?
Yeah, we can have it mapped out, and technology says, "Oh, not today." So I want to. So we mentioned family, and yes. This is how it. This is one slide that I know we're gonna love talking about once I get it to share. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. So Mahalia had the honor and the privilege to witness her son voting this year. Maverick, him and my son are friends, so we're not gonna get into that spiel because we're gonna
go way back.
Go way back. And so when I saw this, I won't get a chance to vote with him because he was in California in the pandemic. We just didn't get a chance to do it together. But I want to say that Let's Talk About It segment, every week we talk about a topic that I wouldn't call it controversial because I don't think it's controversial. I just think we talk about a subject to bring awareness to the community. And so this week I decided to do the voting because, of course, that's kind of what's in the news, that's everywhere. But if we could, for a sidebar, having a son that's in college and that's voting, he's a young adult, where they're cool now, so how important was it to be able to have the opportunity to vote with your son or, to witness that? How important is that, especially nowadays in regards to our sons, and when I say our sons, the sons of the Black community, seeing the positive images, I love it. So, how was that whole experience?
Oh, it was hugely important to me. And I was, to be honest with you, there was no, twisting his arm to get him to go and vote with me. It was, he made it a priority and kind of raised the discussion with me because we are a family. Ours is a household where we take voting and the right to vote very seriously and see it as the honor and privilege that it is, especially considering those who came before us who were not permitted to do so. So Miles, for those of you who are watching and listening, Miles is a junior at Howard University. And the experience he has had at Howard has been incredibly beneficial. I've seen such growth in him, and just a huge evolution in his perception of the world, and his experience of the world has changed. So we went out and we had very clever and intelligent discussion that entire day regarding our government system and the state of the presidential election and what all that was happening, and understanding local government, state government, and et cetera. So I was honored. I was honored by the smart questions he raised, but also he challenged my perception and share. He didn't just go with what my thought process was with regard to certain discussion points. He was not only, he felt comfortable sharing his perspective and backing it up, defending his position very articulately. So it was a beautiful honor for me to have my 21-year-old son go and vote with me.
Mahalia, we have 20-year-olds.
I know. What do you do? I still see Miles and James as those 6-year-old boys. So.
And I just think if we can get that reunion to happen, I think we're kind of revert back to that.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing because he's out in California in school, and your son is on. It's just like they're on opposite coasts. Amazing that that we just had to let them go and follow their dreams. And your son is in football, and mine's in basketball. It's just some comparison there. But even though they're and it's not just our sons. I'm telling you, these youth are being aware. They're being more involved than we give them credit for sometimes. And because they're listening. I heard Mally say something earlier, and I said, yeah, she's listening to her mom. It just comes out,
Well, they do listen, and I'm mindful of that. That's why, I'm just very, very aware of what I present to the world as well. It's my brand, but more importantly, my daughter is watching me and my son, and I care, believe it or not, even a woman in her 40s, I care very much what my parents think and how I represent my nuclear family and my extended family. So you're right. Our children, our young people, they're looking, they're watching, and either they're going to get it from us or they're going to elsewhere. It's I think it just depends on your level of commitment to your kids' success and how you'd like to see things play out.
Right. Well, I'm going to give Mally and Mahalia an opportunity to come back and tell us about the podcast. But I'm going to give them an opportunity to kind of, right before we close it out, they're going to tell us a little bit about the show, how we can find it, give us an inside scoop on an upcoming episode. Maybe we can get
Would love that.
So I'm going to give a quick announcement, and then when we come back, you all will have the opportunity to take the floor to tell us whatever it is that you guys want to share with us in regards to your show and your podcast. I'm so excited to have you guys here.
Perfect.
Time does fly when you're having a good time, so I know this is probably not enough time, but that's okay. You guys will be back.
Yes.
I want to talk to everyone really quick about our charity spotlight. We are in the month of November, and I want to talk to you about the organization that we're spotlighting. This month is Compassionate Heart. It's an adult center in Magnolia, Mississippi. We are taking donations so that we can purchase items like crossword books, bingo games. I hear the bingo at Compassionate Heart really goes down. It's a true deal. This is give our elderly community an opportunity to come together. We're going to go and bring them some items that they are in need of at the center. And so we're asking for a donation for that. Then December, we've already started getting some of the items together. We are going to be partnering with Saul's Light. It is a NICU support group in New Orleans. They help premature babies. They go in with the families and they're a good support system for the mothers, the fathers, and the family as a whole. And so we're going to be bringing children books. We're going to be bringing little gifts and toys for the children that are, and a lot of times people say, well, why are you going to be bringing books? Well, you got to remember, a lot of the preemies or babies, they have siblings. So the sisters and brothers are there in the waiting room, the parents are there. And so we want to make sure that they have things to make this experience a little bit better, because I am I'm a mother of a preemie, and I know how that experience is, going to the hospital, leaving the hospital. So we're going to provide gift cards to get food, just a cup of coffee. It goes a long way. And so we want to let the families of Salt Lake know that we're here to support them, which is one of our primary missions at the AK Legacy Foundation. We are founded and we are named after Angelique Catrice, which was a preemie, my preemie daughter, the first daughter that did not survive due to being underdeveloped, being born prematurely. And so that is the whole pushing of the AK Legacy Foundation. So we're going to definitely support Salt Lake. If you guys want to volunteer, give any donations, you can go to the aklegacyfoundation.org, and there you'll find the donation tab. I have been asked, well, can I just buy some items? Well, due to COVID, the organizations aren't allowing us to go and just take items, but we are able to purchase new items still in purchasing packages so that we can bring them to the center. So because of COVID, we can't accept tangible items, but we can accept donations. And so we just want to thank you all for your continued support and watching the webcast, for sharing the information, and certainly to all of our volunteers and all of those who have given donations over the course of the last 2 years. So we just thank you guys. We want to thank our guests, but we're not gone just yet. They're going to come back and they're going to give us some inside scoop information, hopefully. I don't know. I might be pushing it a little bit, but they're going to come back and going to allow them each an opportunity to tell us how to watch the podcast series. I'm asking you all just as well to subscribe and view at the YouTube channel, Legitimately Mally podcast series. So I'm gonna let them come back and give us some information, some taglines, any announcements, or, just kind of have the floor for a minute. So back to you, ladies.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Candy. And great work with those organizations. I was not aware, so thanks for that commercial. We'll definitely be supporting.
Yes, ma'am.
So Legitimately Mally, just, the 30,000 foot view is a family friendly teen episodic sitcom. And it's about Mally and her two best friends who are taking on life's challenges, typical to teenagers, with the finesse of a bull in a china cabinet. I mean, literally, these kids, really with Mally at the helm, are just getting into all sorts of little fiascos. And so her best friend Ernie's kind of the voice of reason, and her best friend Sophie's kind of, the neurotic person on the team. But the three of them together, they kind of finagle their way through these, navigate their way through these challenges. And what's beautiful about it is they ultimately land on the right decision with the support of Mallion's very close-knit family. So she's got her grandma Lorraine. She's got her mom and dad who are educated people. Grandma Lorraine is a comic relief, definitely a comic relief on the show. But then she also has other supporting characters who kind of move the story along. But they ultimately, these kids who lead the show, always land on the right solution. And we always like to say in every episode, there is an entertaining dilemma and a meaningful lesson. And that's the formula that we wanted to kind of have trickle forward from the shows that were prevalent in the 80s and the 90s. And as a result of having done so, we are seeing and are receiving wonderful feedback and reviews. So we'll continue to do it. So this is season 1 for our show. And this is an 11 episode season for us. Episode 6 airs today. Episode 6, and it's our Thanksgiving special. So we wanted to air it a day early. We typically air every Thursday at noon, but we're airing our Thanksgiving episode today because we wanted to give you guys something to do as you're traveling or as you're in the kitchen preparing food. So if you've not yet checked us out, please tune in. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, TuneIn, just about any major streaming platform. So make sure you listen, download, subscribe, and share. That's the biggest gift you can give to our production and our show, is to share it with your network, because that just means the absolute most. Now, if you want a more interactive experience and a more immersive experience where you actually see the characters as they speak, then tune into YouTube. That episode will be live later today. I wanted to kind of postpone that one a little bit, stagger it to give the other episodes to be live before we move forward. But that's the gist of the show. All things positive. We do confront the audience with truth. There's a lot of comedy, good, clean, wholesome comedy. And again, it's appropriate not just for little ones, but adults love it too. We've got something, and we do like to say that there's something for everyone in every episode. So we do hope you'll support us, tune in, and fall in love with these characters. So just a little teaser. We recently introduced a new character to the show, Henry Johnson. And he's quickly become a favorite on the show. And it appears that Grandma Lorraine is the object of his affection, but she's just not interested yet. So that's the teaser I'm going to give you. We'll see where it goes. We're just at episode 6. We've got several more to go. And so stay with us until the end of the season. And so we'd also like to invite you guys to follow us on all of our social media platforms.
We're legitimately Mally on all of our social medias, with the exception of Twitter, where we are legitimately Ma too.
Yes.
All right. Well, I got to get a Twitter account. Oh, I have one. Don't remember to log in, but hey, I'm definitely on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm getting with it. So I'm going to get with the program. So Matt, really quick before we go, you mentioned social media. So how are we allowed on Snapchat, or is it not?
Oh, not Snapchat, but we are available on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok.
She said, "Are we allowed?" Us old people.
Yeah. Are we allowed?
You can come on Snapchat.
Well,
it's all right.
Look, legitimately, Matt does have a TikTok account, so I'm just gonna say.
Okay. No, I don't have one yet, but no, I'm just teasing. But you guys go and follow Mally, follow Mahalia on social media. I'm going to make sure throughout today that we're going to put that back out there. I want everyone to subscribe and like and share, not just because they're good friends of mine, but because this is a good, clean show. This is something positive and it's fun. I like the storyline. Mally is just, I'm like, oh Lord, but like you say, she always comes to the right decision, and it's fun to watch. And if we're going to support anything, why not this? And this is, so we just have the good benefits. I want to thank you both. I know I got squeezed in the schedule. I consider it an honor, and I want to honor you guys' time. And I want to thank Mally. Congratulations once again on winning your Young Academy Award. Young Artist.
Young Artist Academy.
Yes. We're going to speak that Academy Award into existence, Candy. Let's do that.
Yes. So I'm a part, and I'm proud of you too, Mom, for your film.
Thank you.
We don't want to leave you out, and I'm so godly proud of you too. And I pray that all is well, you guys. This is just the beginning.
Yes.
I could just see doing great things. I want to be able to say they were on my show,
And we'll be back. Yes.
You definitely have to come back, because I almost forgot, Mahalia, you had a little acting going on during the pandemic with your tea talk.
Oh, a little bit of that. I did the monologue. You're right. Let me tell you that the pandemic brought out the best and the worst in some of us. So I thought, let me just work this creative muscle a little bit and see what comes out. And that was a lot of fun to do.
And just to our listening audience, I'm going to share, for the women in business, we do have our group, but then also on Instagram, I'm going to share the pictures. There's a movie Trap.
Yes.
So I want to share that. That was pretty good. So I want to get all that out. So throughout today, you'll see me kind of just bombarding social media, because I want to bring awareness to it. And I don't want the crowd to go away. And it's not just for today, but we're here to support you guys. Let us know what we can do. Anything that you need us to share, tag us. We'll definitely get it shared. And we appreciate you guys. Love you much. Tell the family I said hi. Mally, thank you so much for being you.
Thank you.
For being legitimate. Okay. So,
yes. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you all. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to be closing out our podcast for our webcast for today. I am going to leave you all with some information for your FYI. And I want to say thank you all for tuning in today. Once again, you can follow us on Instagram at AK_legacy_foundation. You can call our office with any questions or concerns, 985-445-9582. You can also email me. The info@aklegacyfoundation.org comes directly to me. And you can also follow us on our website. Go and check out our updates, aklegacyfoundation.org. And once again, thank you all for tuning in. This has definitely been a joy. We see you guys back next week on December the 2nd, I believe it is, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You all have a great day.